Hello and welcome to PTZOptics Live.
We are live the last Wednesday of the month at 2 p.m. Eastern, 11 a.m. Pacific. We're so happy to have you here. Don't forget to say hi in the chat.
Today we have an amazing announcement. All of our customers are going to receive Titler Live 5, a free 6-month subscription from NewBlue Effects. It's a really big announcement. We're so excited. We're using NewBlue Effects today.
We are.
We are. Are you ready? Should we dive in?
Should we do it? Look at that. It's fancy. This is going to be so cool because not only is our show starting to look really good, but yours can look really good too with all this awesome graphics. So we're going to dig into it. But let's sit down, guys, and go through the show.
Let's do it.
All
get
right,
ourselves
so
settled in
welcome
here.
to our new studio. We've been working really hard on this. I hope that you guys are enjoying it. We've got auto tracking cameras kind of tuned in at different locations, so we're going to show a lot of cool stuff. But I wanted to start by mentioning that the brand new Move 4K cameras are shipping. So many of our customers have received these. There's brand new firmware coming out for these cameras. So keep an eye out for the brand new firmware coming like next week, roughly.
Very soon.
There's some really great new firmware and awesome updates we'll be covering in the future. We also have new mounts available for the 30X models. Some of you may have noticed the 30X cameras have a larger, bigger 4K lens now, and we've made brand new ceiling and wall mounts to accommodate the new size of the Move 4K cameras. And so, so take a look at the brand new studio. It's really, really exciting. We've got like some behind-the-scenes cameras we're going to show you guys. Really excited to show this off. It's still work in progress, right, Taz? Like always. But
it's a great way to display the new Move 4K cameras because all the cameras we are using in here are those cameras. So you're getting a live demo of those as well. I see that people are filtering into the chat. We are live. Hey, guys, let us know where you're watching from. Don't forget to say hello. We do have a giveaway today. NewBlue has very generously offered to give away a 1-year NewBlue Titler Live 5 broadcast subscription. That is their premium level subscription. So if you want to enter that giveaway, we're going to draw that at the end of the show. You can visit ptzoptics.com/show. One of the entry options there gives you a sneak peek at a very exciting event we have coming up. Our annual Worship Summit Live is going to be held February 22nd. It's our free virtual event covering live stream education for House of Worship. So go ahead and register for that event and enter to win a free NewBlue license today.
Yes, and at Worship Summit Live, by the way, our audience could win a brand new Move 4K, a vmix license, and a whole bunch of other stuff. So I think we're going to be announcing that pretty soon, right?
Yeah, we are. More to come on that. When you register for the event, we will send you giveaway information. So yeah, probably our biggest giveaway of the year. It's pretty exciting.
Yeah.
What do we got next, Linz?
I think we have a Would You Rather.
Let's do it. Let's engage the chat.
Would you rather? Do.
What's the question?
All right. So the question is, would you rather live in the ocean, in a submarine, or in space?
Wow, look at those
For a year.
beautiful NewBlue templates that we actually have someone in studio operating NewBlue Effects, sending
Kyle,
good job. We'll have to show him behind the scenes soon. Sending the graphics directly into our vmix production system. So anyway, that's besides the point. Since I'm on camera, I'll just say I will vote for space.
Space?
Yeah, I'd love to see the Earth from outside the Earth. I think that would be awesome.
I'm on the space team as well. I would definitely do space. What about you, Linz?
I'm going down in the submarine. I gotta know what's down there. I need to know. I can only deal with one planet at a time. I think I can only. I gotta know what's here first before I explore other places.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
That might be safer than visiting space.
Maybe.
That's a good question.
Who's to say?
I'm not
What
sure.
are we hearing in the chat? Are we seeing some people with some comments here as well?
Let's see.
Let us know. What would you rather do? Spend a year in a space station or a year in a submarine?
And if we have any space or submarine experts, enlighten us on what is the actual accurate choice.
Now, Tess, we have a little housekeeping. We have a trade show coming up in Europe this week.
We do. We are attending ISE in Barcelona next week. Let us know if you're attending in the chat. If you are, you can visit us at booth 5F800. I had it memorized. I didn't have to look down. But yeah, we're at 5F800. Our team cannot wait to see you there and demonstrate the new Move 4K cameras, our award-winning Studio Pro camera, and an exciting new camera that has not been officially announced yet, exclusive for you ISE attendees.
Yep. Well, if you go to ISE, you'll get the very first look at a brand new PTZOptics camera, and otherwise you'll just learn about it fairly soon anyway. But Lindsay has a very interesting share your vision. So why don't you tell us a little bit about that, Lindsay?
Alrighty. We need your little sparkly effect.
I know. I need my X keys up here. We'll have
Yeah.
to reinstall them.
Yeah.
That's a good point.
Alrighty. So this month we'd like to thank Flume Media for sharing their vision with us. Flume Media has a original studio series called Sports Talk. And they started 3 years ago, and they are celebrating season 4. And they started with just some black curtains, uplighting, a few chairs, and old furniture. And now they've upgraded to a new setup with several of our PTZ cameras and a Superjoy. So if you'd like to share your vision with us, make sure you are tagging us and using the hashtags to share your vision. Thank you, Flume
it looks
Media.
like they're using the Simple Track light cameras, and I just wanted to mention that's the camera shot right here. And you can see one of the reasons why I chose this camera for my shot here is that it has the ability to zoom in really far and then do a very light amount of panning and tilting automatically, auto tracking wise. So it's a very interesting way to add a little bit of movement with your PTZ cameras. So that's what we're showing here. I cannot wait to show you guys NewBlue effects, though. And we have a solution expert.
Yes, we have
Joe Zamora, who's going to, and just to recap, in case you're just joining, every single PTZOptics customer today and going back into the past, if you bought a camera or a joystick or any of our products, you are eligible to get a 6-month subscription to NewBlue Effects Titler Live 5. It's an awesome software. I can't wait to show it to you. All these cool graphics and overlays and things that you're seeing here are coming from NewBlue Effects. It can really up the game of your production. So I can't wait to show it to you.
Yeah.
I think it's about that time, right?
I think it's time for a live demo.
It's about that time.
As you transfer over there, I'll just recognize the chat really quick because they're starting to come in with the would you rather.
Oh, awesome.
A lot of ocean, but NewBlue, whoever's repping that page, thanks for joining us, says Space Station all the way. So
cool.
It's split there.
Well, I'm gonna walk over to the studio over here. And by the way, I'll just do a quick little demo just so you guys can see. So this is the PTZOptics Move 4K auto tracking camera. I don't know if you guys have seen that yet, but this is the auto tracking. And while I'm here, for those of you who don't know, we have a brand new camera called the PTZOptics Studio Pro. And the Studio Pro won 2 awards at CES this year. We're really proud of that. But coming over here to the stage, we have Joe Zamora. How are you doing, Joe?
Hey, I'm doing great. Thank you for having me here. I'm super excited to show everybody Tire Life 5 present and all the different graphics that they can take advantage of to really bring their shows to life.
I understand you even designed some of the graphics that we were using because they were templates, right? Which you can create fully custom-made graphics, but right now we're just kind of using the templates that you created.
Right. So the software ships with its own suite of graphics collections, and the users can, easily come in and customize those existing graphics so they can, transform them to represent their brand or show a variety of different elements that they might not currently exist within them. Or they have also the ability to even author their own graphics completely from scratch, because we do ship a design tool within the Tire Life 5 Present license. So if whatever content we deliver isn't enough for you, you always have the option to do your own and even bring in additional elements from your production, whether that be static images, video, live video, right? You can really essentially use Tighter Live as your production suite to bring all those dynamic features to life.
Oh.
Cool. Let's take a look at it, because I think for a lot of our customers, this might be a brand new interface. It's a little bit of, learning curve, a little bit, which is why I think Joe is here, right? So let's share your screen.
Right.
Let's take a look at it, because if you spend just 5 or 10 minutes looking at this software, it's actually really intuitive, and you can get started with it really quickly. It looks like Joe has OBS on the right and NewBlue Tighter Live on the left.
Right. So pretty much what the setup on I'm trying to demonstrate is you could essentially use any kind of hardware or software switcher that takes any kind of NDI signal, because Tighter Live is capable of outputting NDI. Now, if you're working with something outside of NDI, or you're trying to incorporate multiple types of signals from any kind of CG, or Tighter Live being a CG, you do have the options of doing SDI, HDMI, if those are some preferred workflows for particular scenarios of yours. But what I have running on screen is Tighter Live 5 Present. Now, with every addition of the software beyond Present, pretty much this playout interface that we're seeing is what you'll have available for curating your graphics from your project and playing them out to live the way you're seeing them seen on that show. So I've added a couple graphics here from the graphics library, which you do have access to. So upon installing the software, you'll see we have a variety of different collections to browse. So let's say, for example, I wanted to use some titles from the executive collection, because we want to use something for like a keynote presentation that has a variety of different data graphs or little informational graphics. We have a variety of the different things that you could use here. Some of those involve picture-in-picture graphics. Some of those may be data graphs to represent a variety of different statistics, maybe some financial information, lower thirds for contact info, etc. There really is a full range of content here that you could really leverage to fit whatever scenario your production is based around. Now, one of the neat things about, PTZ cameras and this ecosystem is their ability to broadcast live video over NDI. And since we're a CG solution, we thought it optimal to be able to combine both live video and graphics under this interface. So a very simple implementation of this is the ability to bring live video directly into the software itself. So here we see a PTZ camera over here on my right, and we're getting that video feed over NDI. Just to kind of quickly show how that looks within the software when it comes to adding that source, we just navigate to the top of the file menu, we go to New, Live Video, and we see a variety of different options, Windows devices, Mac devices, right? Any kind of camera you might be plugged in via USB. And then here's the cream of the crop, we got NDI. Now with NDI, we'll see any kind of NDI source that we're generating from our actual local area network. So you can see a bunch of other devices that I'm currently hosting, and as well as a PTZ camera that I've actually had added as this live video element. But we can do other things like customizing the specific live video feed. We can bring it a little bit down on size. We can reposition it very quickly. And here we have a very quick picture-in-picture. Or we can actually customize a graphic, convert the texture on any kind of surface to then have live video mapped onto it. So this layer here that I brought over is just a rectangle. It's rotated slightly in 3D and it has an outline around it. But if we go into the layer properties here under live data for this particular graphic layer, we can then also, just like we saw with the file option, find a variety of other NDI sources in my network to then bring those camera feeds directly into my program out. And if you're paying attention, you can see all that coming in directly into my OBS, because I am in fact connected to OBS to fetch NDI video as Tighter Live being the output source. A variety of other things that we can do is we can make a very sophisticated scene where we bring multiple NDI feeds into one graphic. Typical scenario when you're having a hybrid event, maybe you have multiple guests coming in and you need to collect all those camera feeds and display them all in one graphic and perhaps maybe some information about the participants. So this is that scenario, right? We have 4 different graphics over NDI. We then have the name plates here for each of those participants. And if we need to change one of these participants' live video feeds, we can, and we can then very quickly produce these scenes. Now, apart from just doing graphics, we can connect to data in real time. So that's going to be one of the key strengths of this software, right? So one of the basic kind of straightforward workflows, I have a graphic, I want to play it live, and maybe before I play it live, I actually want to make some changes. So I want to then change that to Joe Zamora, And then we can say my title there for solutions expert, if I can spell right, using a different keyboard every day. And then we can then bring that to live because, we've rendered that in real time. But let's say our title happens to be on air and I just want to show my first name and I hit enter there on the live data. We can enter that change, render it, and then bring that change to with the dynamic animation. So all of these changes can happen either while graphics are off air or on air. It all depends really what kind of changes you're incorporating into the different elements within the layer properties tab. Now, these are just some manual passes I'm doing on my graphic, but if we want to do something like House of Worship lyrics, right? So we're having a service and lyrics, we're orchestrating a song and it's all happening in real time and we need to show these lyrics. So one of our options here is to be able to connect to Google Sheets, and that's going to be a spreadsheet service that you can use over the cloud. So when I select this graphic layer, I'll have it already connected to that data controller. And then we'll see that we actually have a spreadsheet here. We have line 1, and this is all feeding lyrics to this lower third that is live on air. So we can play that entry there to get that lyric. And then we get the second lyric, and then we can go on and so forth. And we can see that between every single row that we're sending to live, we're getting animation updates between those different records. We can also trigger something like autoplay on a 5-second delay. And now we're going to see the Title Live instance run it through these iterations in a 5-second delay automatically. So some of these things can be automated to be a completely hands-off experience for some of your operators, depending on, if you can really refine how these things are supposed to happen with the cadence of the production. Now, we do offer a grand variety of data controllers, especially when it comes to our present edition. But let's say, for example, you're interested in things like social media, sports, things that go beyond that. Social media does exist in the Tyler Live Present edition. So if you want to integrate to things like Twitter, Facebook, YouTube chat, you can leverage our social media graphics collection, combine that with the social media data controller. And now then you can curate social media posts to then be data driven directly to one of these graphics and then play that graphic on air. Maybe you have a social media manager that's dictating and curating and vetting those comments. Then you can organize your playlist and display that directly onto a graphic in real time. If you're doing a sports production, that is going to be on a different edition of the Title Live software. So you'll probably look into something like sports. If you're doing a very robust production where you need a lot more channels of output, you want to do some more sophisticated API integrations, then we do have the broadcast edition of Title Live. But before I do kind of, wrap up what I'm doing here in terms of demoing, I do have some examples of really the type of graphics that you could really author. And I am very familiar when it comes to designing on this interface. I've been designing graphics on Title Live or NewBlue products for about 6 years now. So, you'll usually see that I kind of spend a lot of time in here and can really realize a lot of the things that I have in terms of like imagination. Maybe I look at something and I say, hey, I want to really recreate that within Title Live. With some practice and spending some time and becoming familiar with the tools that are available within the software, you can produce a lot of extremely professional content that looks exactly the way you intend to, because we do ship with a library of effects, transitions. We have a 3-point lighting system. You can create 3D, 2D titling. And just to quickly show how this looks within the designer, we can play this graphic off air, and we can then edit this graphic, and then we can quickly see how all of this kind of just looks, right? We have our canvas, and we have our different design elements that exist on a timeline, and we're pretty much just designing our animations, our design elements against this timeline. And then we pretty much we have styling, we have effects, we have 3-point lighting. If I wanted to, I can just, freely rotate this. And then maybe I add some extrusion here with the 3D controls. And we can see that we can begin transforming things pretty quickly with using some of like the streamlined workflows that we have for things that we know people want to change pretty often and very quickly. So if you spend some time in here, you'll probably be rather surprised at some of the things you're able to author with, very little time. Maybe with some extra time, you'll do a lot more. And just lastly, before I end this demo off, if you have any inquiries about maybe you want to explore a little bit more about, how you can best fit Tyler Live into your current production, or maybe you want to see some other options beyond Present because maybe you spend some time Present and you want to do a little bit more with Tyler Live, feel free to reach out to our email here at the bottom. We have sales@newblueinc.com for any of your inquiries. We'll have myself and one of our sales representatives reaching out to you and trying to figure out really how Tyler Live can best work for you.
Thanks,
Thank
Joe.
you, Joe. That was really good look at Tyler Live 5. And that's exactly what we wanted, right? We just wanted to
Yeah.
give our audience a familiarity with this software, because not only is someone today going to win a year of the NewBlue
Broadcast
Effects
version.
broadcast version of Tyler Live 5, but also everyone who is a PTZOptics customer, if you buy a camera today, or even if you bought one from us when we started 7-8 years ago, you are eligible to get a 6-month subscription to Tyler Live 5, which is $150 value.
Do we have a graphic with that URL? It's PTZOptics.com/newbluefx. Lindsay, would you mind putting that in the chat just in case we didn't brief Kyle on a graphic prep for that?
There we go. Boom. So yeah, you can go to PTZOptics.com/show to take a look at that. And yeah, let's just show off the studio a little bit and answer some questions.
Yeah,
So
we're
it's
going to
time for
dive into a
Q&A.
Q&A. I have some written down for you already, Joe, if you want to just dive right in.
Yeah, no, let's get started with it.
Okay. The first one involves what you were discussing with the design process.
Right.
Like the clouds that you had in there. Is that something that you
Oh.
would have made in After Effects first, like an MP4, and then put it into Tyler? Like, how does that work?
Yeah, there's a combination of things you can do because you can, in fact, import EPS files, so vector files, MOVs, AVI files, any kind of video with alpha, PNGs with alpha. Those clouds, in fact, were actually a PNG file. And what I did was I keyframe some rotation so that it matches the kind of the motion of the new Sentry title there. And then I added some there's like a light rays effect that we have too. So kind of emulating like a parallax effect with just images. There's no video in that.
That was impressive.
So, yeah.
And it kind of reminded me of like After Effects, the whole platform.
No, one thing that is actually pretty interesting is that with our broadcast edition of Tyler Live 5, we do in fact directly integrate with After Effects, because let's imagine a scenario where you have a design department, right? And everything that you've created for your production exists in After Effects as a project, or maybe a variety of different MOGRT packages. Sometimes when people are shopping for a CG solution, the main barrier is how can I get my After Effects graphics to work for live production? And we've essentially addressed that through Tyler Live 5 broadcast. And what we do is we directly capture all the frames from After Effects, and then we bring them directly into Tyler Live with alpha and everything. We don't compromise any of the effects or plugins that you may have used. So maybe you're using some of like Red Giant's effects or some kind of like RBG shift. None of that gets compromised. And then beyond that, we directly communicate with After Effects. So if you want to send real-time data, right? If you want to make like an After Effects social media graphic and then send a Twitter tweet data from like a profile that you found, or maybe some spreadsheet data for name keys, you can actually dynamically update then the graphics from After Effects to then display it in real time. Now, we do have some demonstrations of that on our website. Maybe Caleb, who's in our the YouTube chat, could provide a link for that in case people are curious about how that looks in terms of workflow wise. But yes, we can integrate in that sense.
That's good to know. And the what is the version? Were we looking at Present today? Because I know you have a variety.
Yes, Present will be the one that is going to be offered with the 6-month trial. Whoever gets lucky and wins the giveaway will have access to that After Effects feature through broadcast.
Excellent.
Wow. And maybe Kyle can just trigger off some of these cool effects, just to, because they're just exciting me. Some of these, obviously you guys saw some of the lower thirds, but the full screen ones are just really they just add a lot to the show, and it's all done live. So it's not, it really reduces the amount of post-production that you have to do, and allows you to deliver a really great production to a live audience.
And moments like when you forget a graphic or forget to add a URL, like just happened, Kyle was able to edit it on the fly.
Yeah,
And
Kyle
get
was
us
able
the
to
URL.
throw in a picture of me for the Share Your Vision.
Oh, he did, because it
Yeah.
wasn't you before.
There
right
we
there.
go.
There she
Boom.
Like right
is.
before the show. I was like, Kyle, here's a picture.
Yeah, and I
So-
mean, if you're a school, if you're an organization, and you have someone who wants to contribute to the live stream, like we have right now 5 people working on this show,
Mhm.
not even including some of the marketing stuff. But we've got Kyle doing the graphics, we've got Mike doing the switching, and we have 3 people on talent, so 5 total.
How many did it used to be back in
There was a time when it was
2016?
just me and a computer, and then it was me and you and a computer, and
Yeah.
then me, you, and Mike, and then me, you, Tess, and Mike, and then now we have our graphics person. And I think the graphics is something that, especially in a competitive world, a lot of stuff going on, for viewers' attention. I think especially over the past couple years, viewers are really starting to raise the standards of what they want to watch, and we all have short attention spans. So, I think that adding that extra pizzazz is just very much, not only is important today, but also if you think about the video you're creating an archive, right, of videos that are going to be available maybe forever, right? So that archive is an investment that you're creating. You don't want to miss a full year of live streaming, because all of those streams, whether they're for your kids' sports team, for your house of worship, or for your business, those, they grow, and people still view them probably more than just live, but on demand. They're going to view it for many, many years to come, hopefully, if the quality is good.
Yeah.
And that even plays into the YouTube algorithm, because the quality will increase the viewer retention. It'll increase the amount of, shares that you receive, maybe the amount of likes, the amount of comments, and the amount of distribution that your video will receive if you do a really good quality production.
Kyle, I'm not sure if you can hear me, but do we have any social media graphics?
Oh, yeah, graphics to show. Yeah, I
That's
think we
something that we
do.
haven't showed, and I'm used to using something different, so this is a little bit new to me. I'd be interested to see how that works. Okay, we do have some. Oh, interesting. So it's populating live. Is that right, Joe?
Yes, that's all in real time. So you just find the video that you're streaming from, like the URL, and you just use that, and it'll find all the comments that are coming in.
Okay. So it's automatically connecting to social media. That's very cool.
Oh, there you go.
Huh. I have another one as well. We talked about a special edition just for sports. And something that we were curious about at the beginning of the show is a countdown timer. Is that included in the present edition?
Yeah, so you'll see a variety of different clocks in general present, but sports will also have clocks and all types of other clocks that are sports related. But you will see a general custom clock available in present. You can set the time lapse for the clock, like so the total allotted time, and whether that clock counts up or down. And you can set the format of the time, and then stop and go, or you can pause and play it at your will too.
Excellent.
Pretty neat.
Okay. Daniel's asking about the CMP. Paul, you covered that in the chat. That'll be coming out soon. I think that we're ready to do the giveaway.
All right, great. I'll pull up the giveaway. So we do want everyone to be
Do you have
live,
Gleam there?
right? Yeah, I can pull it up.
Okay.
That's why I really like this little computer right here, because I know there's a lot of different reasons why we need to have a obviously on stage computer.
Yeah, I'm glad that we have a computer there. Joe, while we pull up the giveaway and draw a winner, just a reminder, you must be watching live in the chat to claim the prize. Can you tell us what separates the broadcast edition from the present and some of the lower tiered?
Yeah, and
Yeah,
last chance to enter, by the way. Sorry, Joe. Last chance to enter,
no worries.
everybody. Go ahead and enter
PTZOptics.com/show.
PTZOptics.com/show. Hurry
We'll
up.
give it a minute.
Sorry. Go
Sorry,
ahead, Joe.
Joe.
So the main difference between present and broadcast is that with the broadcast edition, you could actually output graphics at 4K. So that channel that you saw me playing around with and outputting directly to OBS, you can do output up to 4K. Another advantage of broadcast is when I was doing that demo, I was curating my entire project playlist to only output through a single channel. With the broadcast edition, you can do up to 16. So if for whatever reason you needed like 16 NDI streams of graphics or 3 or 4, broadcast edition is going to be the way to go. Some other functionality that you can discover within the broadcast edition is there are some other playout functionality in terms of like actual layers. So with present and sport, you can only do up to 3 live layers at a time per that one channel. Broadcast, you can play an unlimited amount of live layers on any given channel at any given moment. The last one, or the last two, I guess, because they're more so integrations, is Broadcast Edition gives you the tools to make and author your own custom API integrations to maybe some kind of service or platform that you really need this CG to work with. So maybe you want to get something to work with like financial information. We've had BuzzFeed in the past do some stuff with like election data and all that. So they were able to like customize and create their own, like what we refer to data controller interface to then pull that data and then manage the way that data is being operated onto the graphic. And then, like I mentioned before, the integration that we have with After Effects. Now, there's a lot of variety of different workflows and integrations that we're, slowly exploring as time passes, and that all depends on user feedback too. So depending on the kind of market that we're looking into and who that appeals to the most, you can expect those types of features being released with appropriate editions of Title Live 5.
And for people who are ready to go ahead and purchase, what's that process like? Where do they go? Who do they talk to?
So there's 2 different ways that I usually recommend people to go to. There is the way of going, just straight to the website. There is an option to purchase. You'll have your purchasing options on there from your account. The other would be reaching out to our sales team. Usually that process, it's a matter of like, us, if you really want to like sit down and have people that want to understand the type of ecosystem that you're working with, maybe you tell us what kind of production switch or some data integration goals that you have, right? We'll have a conversation. We'll see which of the editions of the software best fits your scenario. And then maybe, if it justifies it, we can do like a short demo, maybe something that we can walk over and really make sure that Title Live is the solution for you, so you feel comfortable moving forward in whichever direction you see fit.
Excellent. Do we draw a winner?
So we got a winner, Chelsea Gillum, and she is from Old Mississippi's EDU. That's her email, Mississippi University. So while we're waiting, we're going to call multiple winners because if she's not here, we got to call someone else. I want to show the brand new Move 4K auto tracking capabilities. I don't know if everybody's seen it yet. So I'm going to grab.
I'll switch spots with you. How about that?
Okay. Well, I need the remote control, which I left on the table there. If you don't mind grabbing that.
Yeah,
for me.
sure. Well, it's locked to you, so I'm not going to be stealing the focus while
if we could just switch to the Move 4K really quickly. I want to show this capability of the auto tracking, and so basically this camera's locked onto me.
Do some cartwheels for us.
So actually, maybe you.
Paul hasn't done a cartwheel since now.
I can't do a cartwheel, but this is the Move 4K. But Lindsay can do a cartwheel for you guys if you want. But I just wanted to show kind of how this works, because if I am on stage with next to Tess, for example, and let's say I want to switch to Tess, what I can do is I can actually use the remote control to select Tess and click OK. And now it is not going to follow me. It is going to stay directly on Tess. So we call that tracking person locking. Presenter locking. So you can lock specifically. So that's locked on Tess. She's not moving around right now. She's helping out. But we can lock back onto me there. And that's just a really big deal, because it gives us the ability to, basically not be worried about who is on camera. So give you an idea, it also has the ability to zoom in a bit, and we're releasing some new firmware features to make this even better. But this just gives you a little idea of how smooth the auto tracking is. This is at 4K in 60 frames a second, I believe, is what we're broadcasting in. So we're broadcasting at 30 frames a second? 60. So 4K 60 right now is hopefully what you're able to view on YouTube. So just wanted to give you an idea of the new Move 4K, because this is built-in auto tracking. So it's very smooth, as you can see. And the new Move 4Ks come in 12x, 20x, and 30x. And the thing that surprises me the most, are we switching places here, Tess?
Yes,
the thing that surprises me the most is that the 30x PTZOptics camera, the Move, can track subjects up to 300 feet away.
Wow.
Yeah. So with the 12x model, which we have here, the 12x can track someone up to 100 feet away.
Mm.
The 20x can track someone 200 feet away, and the 30x can actually track someone up to 300 feet away.
Wow.
So just really cool. We're going to do some testing of that next week. So we're going to get some new footage out, but we've already kind of tested it. That's the approved amount of distance that you can actually be 300 feet away from a 30x.
What exactly
I want to
is
see
the-
that.
is that like a lecture? Like that's farther than a lecture.
That's like a
right?
football
That's
field.
a football,
football
field.
field,
So imagine you are at a press box in a football
Yeah.
stadium and you're using this remote control to go through, and maybe you choose the
Mhm.
quarterback.
Yeah.
Or maybe you choose the referee, might
Or-
be a good person.
Or graduations too.
Graduations.
Okay, so Chelsea, you can email Paul right this second
Oh,
to
great.
respond.
So,
It looks
Chelsea-
like she's here, but she doesn't have a YouTube channel.
That's okay.
So
That's
that's
okay
all
then.
right. Congratulations, Chelsea. Let us know how you're going to use the software so we can stay in touch.
Awesome. So we have a little bit of time for Q&A if anyone has questions, right?
Dropping things over there.
It's my
Tess is
phone.
dropping things.
No, we are good. We can just hang out for a couple minutes if you'd like. Joe, you did a wonderful presentation, almost like you've done it before. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
Great job, Joe. Maybe we'll get a question or two for you, but if there's any questions, let us know. We've got a lot of great stuff coming out, brand new mounts and camera mounts for the 30x cameras. If you're in New York City, check out our YouTube channel. We just installed a brand new in-person, in-store demonstration area for the PTZOptics cameras, so you can see the Move 4K cameras versus the Gen 2 cameras and try out the joysticks and the Super Joy. So if you're in Manhattan, go to B&H Photo. You got to check out the new in-store location.
429th Ave,
That's
New
right.
York City.
In between 35th and 34th Street. So
I just
keep an eye out
posted
for
it.
that.
Or it's scheduled. I scheduled it out. That's
So,
how
yeah.
I have it in my brain right now.
Good.
Ramney, we both work with the Mississippi Judicial College and conduct judicial education for the court system in Mississippi.
That's
Wow.
awesome.
Excellent.
Case
That's a really
study,
interesting
question mark?
application. I know. Do you have any PTZOptics cameras?
I'm really excited, by the way. If you guys are PTZOptics customers and you're getting your free license for NewBlue effects, share your vision. Share what you're
Yeah.
doing with Lindsay so we can show it next time we're on.
Yeah, use the hashtag, tag us on social media at PTZOptics. And yeah, I just use that hashtag. Use hashtag PTZOptics, hashtag share your vision.
How does that work? Do you just search that hashtag everywhere?
You just like
Mhm.
click on it.
Because I know in NewBlue effects and Title Live 5, I think there's a way to use a hashtag to find posts and then show them up on the screen. Is that right, Joe?
Yeah, you could use any kind of keyword that may, like if the word exists somewhere in the post, whether it be the keyword username, right? You can use that and then it'll find those posts. And you could, if I wanted to, right, we could get that hashtag, and then if people started posting it, and then I'll find it, it'll show any recent posts done recently for that, and then display them on graphics.
Nice.
Garrett here on YouTube is saying, would be nice someday to be able to auto track entire games like basketball, similar to Pixelot, as opposed to having to select one person. Any chance that may be on the horizon?
Yes. Now, I can't, I'm actually not allowed to share some of the things that we have until the product team is ready. But these PTZOptics, what I can say is the PTZOptics Move 4K cameras do have computer vision chips. That's how we're doing the auto tracking built in. So currently it's shipping with auto tracking, and we're hoping to add other additional computer vision opportunities. Like I'm hoping to show you guys soon. Like we have one that will follow a laser pointer around, and I can't show you guys yet. It's not approved, right? It's not available yet.
Possibilities are sort of endless, huh?
But we are experimenting with tracking a basketball, tracking a soccer ball, things like that. It's not quite ready. But because the cameras are shipping with a platform that has computer vision capabilities and storage for those computer vision models. That is basically what that would do.
Mhm.
Auto tracking models. In the future, this is a platform that we're going to be developing on. So usually we develop for like a 5-year lifespan. So we're going to be developing computer vision models that can track more advanced things. We got requests for horses, for horse races and things like that. And all of that is possible and coming in the future.
Garrett's offering to beta test for you.
We would happy to be beta test for you. And I believe in the roadmap for 2023, and I'm just going to say I believe, everything's like a technical term until it's released, but I believe we're going to try to create an API for some of this stuff as well. So you may know that our cameras have an API for sending commands to the camera to control it. And similarly, you should be able to turn off and on auto tracking. It looks like Tom is going to do a quick review of his PTZOptics Move 4K on his show at 3 p.m. Eastern today. So
Thanks,
if you haven't
Tom.
heard about Tom's show, it's called The Streaming Idiots. And you should definitely check that out. It's good to see you, Tom.
Tess and I were on his show how many weeks
Not
ago?
long ago.
Yeah,
Couple
not
weeks
long ago.
Wow.
It was a lot of fun.
So if you missed that, go watch that show. Your 2 favorite girls in AV, go watch it.
It's slim pickings, so got to get more ladies out here. That might
this is
just
great.
about
I
cover
hope
it.
you guys, I don't know if Mike, maybe you
Yeah,
could like
there's enough.
zoom all the way out so we could show this massive project that we've been working on here. But this is the stage. We actually built the whole stage.
I'm not tall enough to be
And
at this
we
seat.
hung a beautiful painting. We still have some more clocks to put on the wall so we can see all the time zones where everyone is from.
What are we missing in
And,
here?
we're definitely taking suggestions on what to do, how to do better. I think one of the main things you're going to see in our show is much better graphics, right? So we've got a dedicated graphics person. We've got NewBlue Effects Present that we're using here. I think you're going to see a lot more auto tracking, like Tess was just showing how she moves left to right a little bit. Just the little nuances of, because we really just have one producer, right? But we've got a lot of cameras. So having that bit of auto tracking really ups the production quality. Having that dedicated graphics person, and then someone like Lindsay who is bringing in the social media
Just here
Yeah.
for
engagement.
looks.
But yeah, and I mean we're trying to increase the show. We're trying to bring it to a high level of production and quality. We're streaming in 4K.
It's just
I think it's 60 frames a second.
Okay, way too good to be true wants to see more video demonstration of the background blur on the Studio Pro.
Okay,
Oh,
that's a really good idea.
is it? It's not plugged in.
Oh,
No,
we don't
it's not
have
even
that
plugged in.
camera here. Here, I'll pick up the camera and put it next to you, Tess.
This
so you
would be a good place
show
to
it at
do it
least.
because all the light,
Um,
I'm like nicely set apart from the
Yeah,
background. On
This
like
would,
the,
you know what I think
It's not
would
plugged
be
in.
interesting for this camera, especially, is I think this camera should be like almost like right here, just like clipped and mounted right
as
there.
long as it was tall enough that's not looking at you from below.
Yeah, and it's got that built-in light, which really helps to illuminate the subject, and a little bit. It has 12x optical zoom, so it has the ability to zoom in. In fact, Mike, the camera you're using now is a 12x. If you want to zoom that in to give, it's the
Ooh.
exact same lens as our 12x zoom. So just to give you an example, looks like Mike is operating
What is he
the
doing?
12x
Oh, this one?
there. There it is. And you can zoom it in quite a bit there. So that's you really
You can
have
see the
some
wires that we're hiding.
significant zoom capabilities.
Oh, that looks great, except for my flyaways over here.
Yeah, and
That's
you
better.
can see that Lindsay's blurred out in the background. So it does have, this fine-tuning capability of keeping one thing in focus and not the other. Let's flip this around so we can see the ports on the back. Here we go. So plug and play with PoE. So you can plug it right into Ethernet. You can send video over NDI. You can plug it in via USB-C. So plug and play with USB connectivity for your computer. It will power the camera over USB-C. It will power the camera over Ethernet. And there's also an HDMI output as well, all at 1080p, 60 frames a second. There's a USB connection, USB 2.0 connection to power the light. So the light is powered by the device. And yeah, it's a pretty killer camera for content creation.
Tom says he's
I-
streaming at 4K 60 with his Move 4K today, and
Oh,
as are
wow.
we. Whoop! I lost my
Nice.
I
my
have
audio.
a content creator question.
What's that,
Okay.
Linz?
What's the battery life on the
On the-
Studio Pro?
On the light,
On the light. Yeah, because the light does have a built-in battery,
and it's powered off the camera itself,
and
right?
it's powered by the camera. So that's
Well, I
an
guess the camera would
interesting
have to be
question.
plugged
I don't
in,
know when the
right?
last time the camera was plugged in, but the light's
But-
working. So
Yeah, I mean, I'm gonna guess it's an LED panel, so that really doesn't use too much energy.
Yeah.
I don't know the actual specs on that, but it does have a battery in there. It's not meant to be used really wirelessly, so it's meant to be plugged into the camera and then provided power by the camera at all times.
if it's the same lens as the PTZ-12X, can a PTZ also do background blur?
Yeah, we were just looking at that. Maybe we could take another peek, Mike, at that 12X. The behind the scenes, and one of the things we don't do a great job of sometimes is showing behind the scenes and actually showing the cameras that we're operating. Let me see if I
You can
can
see
give
even the wall
Mike
plates
a
have
wireless.
SDI ports in them and Ethernet. What do you want to do? Are you using this one? You're going to want me to be close to the camera if we do
I don't
this.
remember which one is the NDI camera.
And of course, we're doing it live. That leads for no margin of error, but it's what we
Things
do
get
here.
weird when we try
Am
to
I
do this live.
tall enough?
Tess is going to try to get in front of the 12X camera here to see if that works. The other thing I can do is I can bring up a camera from my phone, and I could do NDI camera output. Let's see if I can do this. Maybe I can show you guys behind the scenes. Let's see here. Let's see if I'm on the right network. Switch to our studio network. But yeah, I could actually show you guys behind the scenes of what it looks like with my NDI camera. I think that'd be kind of fun. That'd be an NDI source a wireless NDI source. I wonder if that would be 4K. I think it might be.
The end of the show. We always here we,
We always
go.
kind of just play around at the end
Yeah.
of the show. I don't know if Mike is going to bring that NDI
Let me
source
sit
on
with
the
you.
webcam in or not. We didn't really rehearse that part. We did an actual rehearsal today, though.
We did.
We did an actual rehearsal. It looks like we're not going to deviate from what was rehearsed. But yeah,
To the chat.
yeah. Make sure you have the chat up.
If
We're
you're
not-
watching and you have not liked and subscribed, here's your friendly reminder to please do so.
Like, subscribe, click
Share.
that bell notification, follow us on social media,
And follow
the things.
NewBlue as well.
and
Yeah.
NewBlue.
I think that's it.
I think that's it. I mean,
Yeah.
I kind of wanted to show my NDI webcam, but it doesn't
Oh,
seem like it's not coming
No,
in.
he doesn't
or
want to add it.
He doesn't want to add it, so that's fine. I was going to show behind the scenes of the studio, but we can do that another time.
We'll do that next time.
So we'll do
At
that
the
next
Worship
time.
Summit Live on February 22nd.
Are we
Oh,
doing
yeah.
another show besides that, or is that it?
No, it's on the last Wednesday of the month.
Okay.
So
Oh,
that's
wow.
going to be next
That's the
month's
show, okay.
content.
All right.
Special thanks to NewBlue and Joe Zamora for coming on here today, doing a live demo and
Thank you,
answering all of our
Joe.
questions.
Yeah, thank you for having me. It's always a pleasure.
Final CTA for you guys out there, like and subscribe. If you want to download your free 6-month trial of NewBlue FX Tighter Live 5 Present, head to ptzooptics.com/NewBlueFX. And to learn more about NewBlue and get in touch with their team, go to newbluefx.com. That's right. Right, Joe?
Correct. Go there
Okay.
for everything you need to know.
All right. Thank you guys so
Thanks,
much.
guys. Thank you,
you
everybody,
next
for
time.
watching. Take care. All right. Did it.
That was good, everyone.
Thank you.
Woo.
Do you need me for anything, or am I good to hop off? Guess I'm good to hop off.